Evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 3, Episode 44, DJI Pocket 2 released, DJI Mavic Mini 2 updates. How is everyone doing this evening on this Tuesday evening? 2 weeks until the big day here in the United States. It's Election Day. And just a reminder, on election night, you're going to be watching a rebroadcast of my 10,000 subscriber celebration. We had the cream of the crop, had Original Dobo, Kelly Shores, Rick Smith, had Marcus and Ron, Bill Thomas, had a great time that night. So I'm going to rebroadcast it. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's worthy of a rebroadcast. So hope everyone's doing well tonight. We got a lot to talk about. DJI Pocket 2. Okay, I'm going to call it taking the Osmo out now. So that's out of there. Ray Kelly's here. Welcome, Ray. Jaybird's here. The Hexter, Johnny Droneflower, welcome, Johnny. Matt Cundiff. Yeah, we got started here a few minutes early, but better late than never. All right, we got a lot to cover tonight. It's like some days you don't know what's coming. It's just been you don't know what you're going to be able to talk about because you don't know what the news cycles are, and the news cycles are now. I mean, we had the release of the Pocket 2, so we're going to talk about that. But I wanted to go ahead and we're going to touch on some news and updates here. Hang on a second here. Let me get myself straight here. All right. Now I'm going to talk about some things here. Many of you may remember that I had a podcast, okay? And what I was doing was I was putting that podcast out to Build a Drone Reviewer Limited Edition. Well, now what we're doing is this is simulcast on both Build a Drone Reviewer and Build a Drone Reviewer Limited Edition. So I went back and I had a number of podcasts I was behind on, and I got pretty much caught up. And I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here so you guys can see this. I don't know if a lot of you even know that I have a podcast, okay? It's Build a Drone Reviewer Podcast. Now, it's out on Spotify. It is out on Apple. It is out on Google. So that on their stores. So go ahead and look it up. All right. You can it's also on Podbean with a B, B-E-A-N, like Jack and the Bean stock. It's on Podbean. I'll drop a link in the description so you guys can check it out. Okay. You can download them at your leisure. And what I do is basically all these broadcasts from Tuesday night, they go out as podcasts. And I found a lot of people really enjoy this. I mean, so much so I'm going to continue to do it and keep on top of it. I've been a little lax. I've had a lot of other things to do, but just going forward, just to let you know, we're gonna go ahead and do this. Now, I'm also, as time permits, going to go out there and do some additional podcasts. Talk about some subjects, about some things that are going on right now. So, and I did post links out on Build a Drone Reviewer on the Facebook group and page today, so you guys can go ahead and check them out. But there'll be a link in the description, and I highly recommend checking it out. Okay, if you're working out, if you're out in the yard doing yard work, if you're around the house working around, if you're in the car traveling, you can listen to one of these, and it's real easy to and it's the entire broadcast. Okay, I just cut out maybe the beginning intro or whatever, but it's the whole thing. We don't skip anything, so you're going to get everything with that. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. All right, now I would be remiss right now in saying, all right, DeMarco is here, Steve Mack is here, Bill Thomas is in the house, Mid-Valley Drones, Michael Wright is here, Sam Burns is here. Welcome, Sam. All right, got a good crew here tonight. Okay, the first thing that I really wanted to get into, now there was a firmware update for the Fimi X8 SE 2020. Now this was a pretty big one. And I want to go over this because I think it's important. And there's a little catch here that you guys may miss. So I want to make sure that I get this out there because I went out to the group and I saw this and I saw some people, they did the update, but they were having issues. And I wanted to clarify something for everybody here. So what I'm going to do is let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and now Big Mark's World, he had a post. he did a post of a YouTube video that he did about the firmware update. Now, I'm just going to show you a couple of screens from it. And let's go ahead and share this here. Now, this firmware update actually centered on the fact this was very focused on the smart tracking feature, because there's been a lot of issues and a lot of problems with the smart tracking feature on the Fimi X8 SE 2020. It notoriously has been very poor. So they put out a firmware update, and I'm going to go ahead and go through these. One was camera, and it's every one of them say the same thing: optimize smart tracking. Please update the app and firmware. Vision, FC relay, RC relay, and flight control. Now, there's something very important in those statements right there. Please update the app. Okay. A lot of people, there was an update for the Fimi 2020 Navi app. Okay. Now, a lot of people hadn't done that. They go and they do this update, and nothing's working. All right. And you need to update the app. Okay. Now, you need to understand apps like this don't automatically update. You need to go out and you need to force the update. And that's very easy to do. If you have any questions, email me about that or post it in the Fimi group, and I'll be happy. It's very easy. I did it sitting right here on my phone. And it was super easy. Okay. You bring up the app, you see it has an update, and you go ahead and you get into it and you do it. And it's not that hard. I can walk people through it if they need that. I don't have a video because I didn't do a video on it, but it's not super hard. Okay. So make sure that you update the app while you're doing this firmware update. You got to update the app as well. It's super important. Okay. I wanted to get this out there. Now, I haven't, while I've done this, I haven't updated the firmware yet, and I haven't flown, because we've been having not so wonderful days down here in Florida. We've been having days where we've had these unbelievable storms during the day. Okay. Usually this kind of stuff happens in September. Well, we're having them now in late October. All right. And by the time, the evening rolls around, it's getting dark right now at 6:30. So it's like next to impossible to fly. So I got to wait for weekends. All right. Well, and during the day, it's just like crazy windy. I think you saw from my last video, that's the kind of winds we've been having lately. So I wanted to pass this on, with a caveat. When you do this firmware update for the Fimi, you definitely need to go ahead and make sure that you update the Navi app. Okay. It needs updated. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And as always, one thing that I always do with the Fimi, okay, after we do all these firmware updates, all right, I do a gimbal calibration and I do a compass calibration automatically before I fly again. All right. You're not dealing with a DJI drone here. All right. And I think it's just a good practice to get into to do these updates, because it really makes a difference, because I see a lot of people having problems, and the first question people ask them is, have you done the update? So just make sure that you do that update. And a milestone, the Fimi group has passed 2,000 members in it, and it's a great group. And if you need help and advice on the Fimi X8 SE 2020, you feel free to join. Okay. And I think there's a link in the description. If not, email me and I can get that to you. Stephen Ewing, welcome. I'm glad you're back. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you, my friend. We miss you here. We genuinely miss you. Very glad to see you. Everyone give a shout out to Stephen Ewing tonight. That's great to see him. It's super good. Hope you and your family are doing well, my friend. It's so good to see you. I'm ecstatic because it's been a while, and hope everything is well. Drop me a line. Let me know how you're doing. Yeah, I'm very pleased to see you. All right. Wow. Big news of the day, 9 a.m. Okay. Like DJI has been doing, they do that soft release stuff. Okay. what can I say? I mean, it's just par for course. And I saw Billy had a tweet out there. Billy Kyle had a tweet today, and he said, you know, he remembered when the original Osmo Pocket got announced. It was actually DJI's last in-person event. It was at the Good Morning America studios. It had very limited seating there. Okay, very limited seating. Billy, his girlfriend Francesca, and Rick Smith were the only people that I knew that actually went to this event. Okay, that was it. But here we are, fast forward, you know, we're in the days of COVID. And also, you know, as I stated, for multiple reasons, and you guys probably know, you know, doing these events online for DJI saves them a lot of money, okay? Because I can tell you that in-person event for the Mavic 2 that we went to, they put out the red carpet for everybody. They spared no expense. It was an incredible experience. I hope after COVID is gone and they can get back to doing something like this, maybe for the Mavic 3. Who knows? But we'll be there if they do. Valerie and I will get that covered for you guys. Anyway, the Pocket 2 arrived today. Okay, it was probably the worst kept secret around everybody. What can I say? There's nothing that really kind of surprises us anymore, is there? Okay. With that being said, hey, Kestelou, as always, he puts out great articles on Drone XL. And if you don't follow him, please do. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to share some things from that because he gave a really good synopsis. A lot of it is the standard DJI release information, what they say during the release. So we're going to go over this. And I think this is good just to kind of give you guys a flavor of everything that's going on with this, just so we know what's new about this. Okay, let me move this here. All right. Enhanced feature upgrades, improved imaging and audio performance, and a modular design to capture magic at hand. Okay. There's a lot of propaganda. I'm going to try to sift through that. DJI Matrix Stereo, a new and improved audio system, provides crisp and clear sound recording, while pre-programmed shooting modes allow anyone to create visually appealing content with just a few taps. A highly modular design with a removable base plate that allows you to attach new accessories and expand your possibilities. Similar to the original Osmo Pocket, Pocket 2 can be used as a standalone stabilized camera connected to your mobile device with a dedicated phone connector or operated remotely with wireless accessories for greater camera control. Here's a picture of it, and it really kind of looks just about the same. Some of the specs are listed here: 16 megapixel or 64 megapixel images, 4K 60 frames per second at 100 Mbps. HDR video has been added. That's something that is new. Pocket 2 also offers up to 8 times zoom using the 64 megapixel mode, or 4 times lossless zoom in 1080p or 16 megapixel mode, so you can get closer to your subject without actually moving towards it. Autofocus has been redeveloped using a hybrid 2.0 AF blend of phase and contrast detection to increase speed and accuracy. Now, this looks to me like probably a probably Osmo Pocket kit with additional. You can see there's probably some adapters. That looks like a windsock right there, and some other things right here. Now they're talking. Now one of the features, and I think all you guys know, one of the things that really kind of brought this down, the original Osmo Pocket, was the audio. The audio was just atrocious on it. I mean, I think everybody to a person agrees about that. That was its Achilles heel. It really made that a horrible experience. And until they came out with an adapter, it was not a good experience. And then even then, you had to add on to it, and it was just a real pain to take care of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this here. Just as image quality has been drastically improved, a complete rework of the audio system ensures footage sounds as great as it looks. The newly added DJI Matrix stereo system consists of 4 microphones strategically placed clear of a hand holding DJI Pocket 2, capturing an immersive audio experience that brings you back to the moment. Directional audio enhances sound recording from those microphones to pick up as much detail as possible, with soundtrack adjusting the audio based on where the camera is facing, while audio zoom narrows the sound field when zooming the camera in. To further filter out unwanted background sounds, an optional wind noise reduction helps keep the audio clean in outdoor settings. It talks about the new modes right here: a pro mode, active track 3.0, slow motion, time lapse, hyperlapse, motion lapse, panoramas, live stream directly to Facebook, YouTube, or RTMP. Okay. And then a story mode. Now it's talking about the different accessories that we just saw right there. The micro tripod, do it all handle with a tripod base, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth module, speaker, 3.5 millimeter audio jack, wireless microphone receiver. Okay, there, you know, and here's a real close up of all this, and that's a lot right there. But I'm sure you're probably going to pay for a lot. You know, they do offer DJI Care Refresh. It looks like the base price is $349 USD. Now the creator combo includes the mini control stick, tripod mount, wide angle lens, wireless microphone, windscreen, do it all handle, and micro tripod for $499 USD. Detailed look at all these purchase options can be found here, and that's a link to the store. Okay, wow, that's a lot. Now, you know, my initial thoughts are I'm so glad to see that they did something with the audio. I think that probably held back a lot of people from purchasing it in the first place, was the audio factor. And, you know, that's what it absolutely came out, you know, right away about that. Everybody knew, you know, there was absolutely no question that the audio was not what you're looking for. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I kind of figured, Stephen Ewing. Yeah, I kind of figured Rick had that because Rick's been kind of quiet lately. So yeah, I haven't seen his review on it, but I'm sure he did a great job. And see, you know, and again, you know, I can't emphasize enough with this. You know, the audio really just detracted from the experience of it. No matter how good the footage you were shooting, you know, with that audio not to go with it, you know, it's kind of a kicker. I mean, unless you're going to go ahead and add a soundtrack instead to it, you know, a lot of times you want to capture something in the moment and you want that audio with it too. And that really, you know, that really just kind of put the kibosh to the Osmo Pocket, the original Osmo Pocket. Think Rick has the Mini too. Sam, I would not doubt it. Okay. He gave some inklings in a couple of videos ago about that. So yeah, I think that's why I personally haven't heard from Rick for a little bit, and I think that's why, because he's under embargo and he really can't talk to anybody until embargo is released. So because I've been trying to get him on again, and I want to talk to him, and I know you guys enjoy having him on the show here. Good. I'm looking for it. I'm looking forward to it. You know, so that's where we're at. Greg Pittman, you're here tonight. Thank you for stopping by. Mid Valley Drones, Mr. Stephen Fox. Thank you, sir, for showing up tonight. Appreciate that. I think if you wait until February next year, discount it by $30 to $50. That's possible, Bill. That really is. That's really very, very possible with that. So, you know, it's finally something that is in the consumer space, you know, and I know DJI came out with the Ronin, all right. And, you know, that's kind of more geared toward professional photographers. You know, and I know if you want to see a great review on that, I know where to go. Look no further than Original Dobo. Okay. He'll set you up with a great review on that. And trust me, he will he will spare no expenses on that, and he will nail that review. So you want to go ahead and check that out. I know he's put some out there, so you definitely want to go ahead and do that. There's Barry Markowitz is in the house. Barry, thanks for stopping by tonight. Make that function. Yeah, you're right, Barry. Yeah, you had to MacGyver it, and you know, and a lot of people found that very frustrating to have to do that. You know, there was no question of the video photography capabilities of the original Osmo Pocket, I don't think anybody had a question on that. You know, they had to do some software tweaks, but they did that. The real thing was that audio. It was just, you know, and it still to this day kind of gets me that they put that out there knowing that they had those issues with audio. That just, wow. Patrick Huber, 6 inches of snow. Oh my gosh. Merry Christmas. Okay, in October. Oh, gosh, 6 inches. Oh my goodness. I'm not ready for winter. Okay. Now we do get winter down here in Florida, folks. Okay. Just to let you guys know, we don't get off the hook down here. You know, we do dip down. We do get frost overnight occasionally down here. It does get cold. Sometimes we have 35-degree days out there, 40-degree days, and it's much colder than it is up north because of the moisture in the air, the humidity in the air. So it does get colder. Wow, I'm just amazed. You got snow, Patrick. Wow. That's just no thanks. No thanks. I'm so glad I met Valerie and moved down here. I love my kids and I miss my granddaughter, but I don't miss the cold and the snow. Not at all. Not at all. So, but yeah, the Osmo Pocket, you know, you saw $349 and then $499 for that combo. You know, there's a link in the description. So if you're interested, please go check it out. Of course, it'll help support the channel. You know, if that's what you're looking for, definitely, you know, it is an upgrade. And I think stock out of the box with that. And I want to see some reviews. I think that, you know, that audio experience is going to be, make it a completely different experience for you this time around. So that's something I would definitely go ahead and recommend. Now, you know, we got some more news about the Mavic Mini too. Now, time frame is still the same. I checked with Lauren about that. It's okay. So nothing has changed there. And I'm assuming pricing, we're still looking at the same thing regarding pricing as well. Now, you know, one of the other things was there were some pictures that were released out there. Let me see if I can go ahead and bring them up here. Okay, I got them up. I'm going to go ahead and share these with you guys. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen these or not. All right. Now, it looks this time around, battery-wise, it looks like a miniature version of a battery that would fit on a Mavic Air 2 or a Mavic 2 Pro. You can see, I mean, it has the Classic on there. And then what do we have here, folks? Look in the back right here. Look at this. Okay, it looks like we have some obstacle avoidance sensors. Of course, this is in Chinese, so there's no way I'm going to be able to read that or know what that is. And again, you know, this is up in Chinese too, but you know what this is, okay? That's you know, the power button, and that's the battery release back there. But it sure as heck looks like some sensors on it. So wow. Some sensors on them on the Mini too. Wow, guys, I don't know. I'm impressed. If they can get this out for a 14% price increase, okay, and having 4K on it, having some sensors on the drone, but I would assume they probably have front obstacle avoidance as well. I mean, for this kind of a price, guys, 14% increase over the previous one. Wow. Run, don't walk, okay? to buy this. I mean, seriously, this is just, this is crazy awesome. I mean, those kind of prices for that kind of increase, that's, you know, that's a lot of stuff. I think maybe 2 in the nose holes. Yeah, Sam, I do. I think they're going to have 2 up front. I mean, you know, that's the reason that they put those there in the first place, because you know, this is just pure speculation. You know, when they build it, they probably planned, obviously, you know, if it would sell well, which it has, to upgrade and update the model with things like that. Now, if they can do all this and still keep it at 249 grams, wow. Okay. Now, a lot of people have said and I don't know anything. There has been so much. I mean, I put out that video and I've gotten almost 7,000 on the first video I put out about it. I got about 6,000 views on the other one, and getting a lot of questions about OcuSync 2.0. And my gut feeling says no because of cost and weight, but we'll see. And as Lauren said, time frame's still the same. And time frame first 2 weeks in November, and that's coming up, guys. Okay, what are those things under the rear legs? Let's take a look. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back up there, guys. Let's go ahead and put this up here again. Okay, are you got here? Let me move this. You guys talking like right here? Okay. That's just part of the arm right there. And that looks like just the part of the drone that would rest on the ground whenever you would land right there. I think that's what that is. And of course, that's the USB slot, and that's the SD card slot right there. So I'm not really seeing anything else. Am I? Under the arms. Okay, Sam, are you talking? I'm trying to dark gray. Okay, let me take a look again. I'm going to bring it back up. Dark gray. That's the only thing I see right there. That would just be part of the arm itself. Under the legs, I'm not really seeing anything. There's shadows down there. Now, if you look at the top picture, I'm not really seeing anything here either. I'm thinking it's just. I think that's just where it's at, Sam. I'm not really. I'm not really seeing that, Sam. So I don't. It's like two sections to the leg. Okay. Well, I think it again. That may be a working prototype. It may not be a final product that they put in these pictures. So, yeah, yeah, I agree, DeMarco. OcuSync would do it for a lot of people, and personally, I think it's probably more an issue of cost versus weight. If they can get the cost on OcuSync 2.0 down, I mean, wow. And, my whole thing, and I think you guys know, I did a video on it. Why I sold my original Mavic Mini was because of the wind. And I showed you guys, what the wind's like down here. It's just absolutely horrible. We have, we have days that, and I mean, I'm talking like 5, 6, almost 7, a whole week in a row where you're getting nothing but these kind of winds because you live close to the Gulf of Mexico. And when that happens, there's just nothing you can do. You can't fly. I mean, and you saw the video that I just did about the Mavic Mini 2 and when I sold it. And, I went outside that one day to show you how windy it is. I mean, I can't even fly my Phantom or the Mavic in those kind of winds. It just doesn't. You can't do it. You just can't go up. I mean, those are non-fly days. Those are days that if you have an RC car, you better get that out and drive that around because that's all you're going to do. You're not going to put anything up in the air those days. I can tell you that right now. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. DeMarco. Yeah, Marcus is ready to hit the buy button already. There's a big surprise, Marcus. But yeah, there'll probably be a contest between Marcus, Ron, and I as to who hits the buy button first. Yeah, odds are I'm always betting on Marcus. Ron and I are pretty fast, but I think Marcus is the fastest. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's exciting. I mean, there's a picture of it, and it's kind of, seeing that it's, I won't call it, let me just say this. It resembles a battery on a current Mavic Air 2 or Mavic 2 Pro. Looks, like a normal, it's not sliding in like the original Mavic Mini is. And it has more oomph behind it. So hopefully, that translates to the motor, and the motors are beefier, so they can probably handle the wind better. And having 4K on this, I mean, it's just, we said it last year. You probably heard Ron and Marcus and myself, talk about this last year when it was coming out, and how we said DJI does this right, it's going to sell like hotcakes, and it has. The Mavic Mini group that I have is getting close to 10,000 people in it. I mean, and it's passing up the Mavic 2 group. The Mavic 2 group was the largest group that I had. I mean, it's crazy. It really is. And because it's an affordable drone, and it's the perfect entry-level drone. It really is, okay? And Stephen Fox, you're right. The whole thing. Philly Drone Life is in the house. Mikey, nice to see you tonight. You just woke up. Now wow. I wish I could say that. The show's at 9:10 p.m. You and Philly and Ron show at 9:10 p.m. Make sure you guys check that out. Oh, Mikey's a great guy. Ron's fantastic, and Mikey's a great guy. So definitely go check them out after we're done here tonight. But yeah, this is exciting news. I mean, and we're coming up on this in a couple of weeks here, which I think is fantastic. I think this is absolutely outstanding. So, be on the lookout, because things will probably happen pretty fast. Now, today's the 20th of October. We have about 10, 11 days. Like, there's 31 days in October. So, there's less than 2 weeks left this month. And then November 1st hits. So, it's probably going to happen pretty fast. Because as I said, and I think for strategic purposes, for marketing purposes, I think this is going to come out well in advance of Thanksgiving. So it'll be available to purchase on Black Friday. All right. And I see a lot of sales on this drone. I really do. And I can tell you this, as soon as it comes out, if you want to get this, you need to hit that buy button right away and not hesitate. But I also want to caution you too on something that I did, and I did it the right way when the Mini came out last year. All right. I looked out on DJI's website. They said the Mini only without the Flymore combo would ship before the Mini with the Flymore combo, and it was delayed, all right, from DJI. I went out to Best Buy and I kept it in. I actually purchased it. All right. Then I went out to Best Buy, immediate pickup on, I think it was November 11th, the day it was released. Okay. Immediate pickup. I canceled my order with DJI, did immediate pickup. I picked it up on the way to work that day. Okay. As soon as Best Buy was open, went in, picked it up, boom, had it. So that's another tip. All right. So you definitely want to check that out. Check it out, DJI versus Best Buy, as far as availability is concerned, because a lot of times, you may run into a scenario like I did. I ended up getting it through Best Buy versus DJI. So that's just FYI. Now I got the Mavic Air 2 through DJI. Best Buy, there was no difference for that. So, plus, going through COVID-19. So, anyway, all right. John Olson, welcome. Thanks for showing up tonight. See who else is here. Greg Pittman is here. Greg, I didn't greet you. Welcome. Thank you for showing up tonight. Appreciate that. So we got a lot to look forward to, guys. I mean, with the Mini 2 coming, and I'm going to kind of switch gears here. The Mavic 3. and I want to spend just a few minutes talking about that. You know, it's going to be on the back burner, and people need to be prepared that it's going to be a while before we're going to see a Mavic 3. All right, that's just the way it's going to be. And there were a number of reasons. We talked about them the other week, and I just want to emphasize. I know a lot of people are anxious about it, but you're going to have to turn your dials down here a little bit to wait for that, because it's not going to be. I don't foresee it until probably August or September next year. To be honest with you, I really don't. Okay, because here, let's look at several things here. Okay, the Mini right now, in and of itself, is still selling very well. All right, now you saw some super discounts that they had with Amazon and other retailers recently. Probably clear out inventory for the Mini 2, but it was still selling well. The Mavic Air 2, it is selling like nobody's business. All right, they can't keep enough in stock. All right, that and how much we all love that drone here. Okay, yeah, Johnny, I hope we're not going to have a December hurricane. No, I think you know my opinion on that, and I know yours on that, because our brothers and sisters in Louisiana say no more hurricanes. Tell my brothers and sisters in Florida and Mississippi and Alabama and Texas, no more hurricanes. And those up and down the East Coast, we're done. 2020, hear us out. We're done. No more hurricanes. Hashtag no more hurricanes. All right. But with the Mavic 3, all right, there's no, DJI, and then the Mini 2 is going to be coming out. So, with the Mavic Air 2 and the Mini 2, there's no reason for DJI to have to come together to put out another drone. Plus, as we discussed already, and I think this is important, remote ID. Now, they're finalizing some things, and they'll have things in place by the end of December. Now, what that means, and I want to be real clear about that, okay? Really clear about this, okay? They have this down. They've had to have done what I would think some type of a prototype with this, okay? And what they're gonna have it down on paper, okay? This does not mean December we all have to go forward, okay? No, it doesn't mean that, all right? They have probably done, and this is just hypothetical speaking, okay? They've probably done a hypothetical mock-up, a real live mock-up, and a test of this to see if it works, to see if they're, what they've put down will work and come to fruition. And they're gonna go ahead and make an announcement about that at the end of the year. And then going forward, it's going to enable drone manufacturers such as DJI, Autel, Hubsan, Fimi, etc., to be able to incorporate remote ID into their drones, right? And what they're going, and the hardware, the software that will be needed, everything, all right? So stay tuned. And that's why you're not going to see one until probably August or September next year. Mavic 3 is, the remote ID plays into this a whole lot, all right? So, just be patient. We have a wonderful Mavic Air 2. We're going to have a fantastic Mavic Mini 2 coming out. So, that's going to be it for a while. So, and we'll get software updates. We'll have some things. I mean, well, we got the software update for the Mavic Air 2 now with the smart controller. I mean, that in and of itself should keep people, extremely happy for a long time. I mean, really, really, really happy about that. So, but yeah, Sam Burns. Metro Drones, Bill, thank you so much. Happy Tuesday to you too. What could the 3 have to make you buy it if you have the 2 Pro? Sam, that's a very good question, Sam. All right. Now, my 2 Pro, and I think everybody knows, for me, the low light capabilities on the Mavic 2 Pro, just sell me on that drone time and time and time again. Okay. And I'll tell you what, Sam, and that's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. One of the things I have to say for me, the mechanical shutter, I don't do mapping, so the mechanical shutter for me is not something that will float my boat. You know, having a 1-inch sensor, having that low light capability on it, you know, maybe also having a zoom on it as well. Those are some things that sound, you know, enticing, I will say. You know, but anything that we've seen on it for now, you know, DJI hasn't even had a mock-up yet because of remote ID. They can't even do that yet because they don't know what the specs are going to be for remote ID. So we don't know. We absolutely, positively don't know. 6K for Bill. Yeah, it could very well be that much. I mean, we don't know. We absolutely, well, there's going to be two versions, okay? There's going to be a consumer version, and there'll be a prosumer version for that. Now, that's a good question, Sam. Why not then for the same price, just buy a Skidoo to go with your 2 Pro? Yeah, besides remote ID, economy's COVID-19 recovery might also affect Mavic 3 release date. The lower cost DJI products will move now as an easier decision than $1,800 in current window. That's a good point, Barry. That's a very good point. Okay, Lauren has already confirmed one of them is going to have a mechanical shutter, and I think it's probably going to be the upgraded version. Again, that's just, you know, that's just my theory and my speculation on that. But, you know, they're going to be worth waiting for. You know that, okay? DJI has did its homework from the Mavic Pro to the Mavic 2 series. They did an absolutely fantastic job with that. You know, the Mavic 2 Pro is just exceptional, okay? It's always my go-to drone. I mean, even I love the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0, but that, you know, the portability factor on that, the ease of being able to get that up in the air. Well, you probably saw, I recently did a sunset, and we haven't had many good sunsets down here. You know, because of the wonky weather patterns. It's 2020, go figure. Normally we have beautiful sunsets every evening, but we haven't. And we did have one, and Valerie just remarked like, wow, this is really nice. And I'm like, okay, boom. Grab my smart controller, grab the Mavic, grab the battery, the landing pad, I was out the door, all right? I was up in the air in less than 2 minutes, all right? Time I put the battery in, fired it up, took the cover off, ready to roll, rock and roll, power everything up. It was ready to go. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to do that. And, you know, like I said, it was gorgeous. It was at the right time of day. It was still civil twilight. Capturing that light in there like that was just incredible. It really, really was. The remote ID in the Mavic Air 2 is a DJI in-house remote ID rather than the official FAA ID. Okay, Leonard, thank you for sharing that. We'll find out. I mean, that's just something that's something that will be coming down the pike that we'll know about. So, you know, also wanted to call attention. I know that Zino, you know my travails with the Zino, and I think you're probably well aware of Marcus's travails with the Zino. Well, there is a Zino Pro Plus out now, and Marcus just got one. And Marcus, if you've already done a video on it, I've been very lax in watching videos the past few days. I've had so much to do. Work has been crazy busy for me. But if you've done a video on that, Marcus, can you drop that in the link? I think people would like to see that. You know, it's a very interesting drone, and I think it might be worthy of your attention. Now, you know, I know it's out on Banggood. I also know it's out on Hubsan's site as well, the U.S. site, direct order, and I think it's cheaper on Hubsan's site than it is on Banggood. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that's something you might want to check into. It has better range on it from what I'm seeing. and obviously, the Zino 2 had the issues with the camera. Now, it really, that's unfortunate because, and you guys know, Ron has a Zino 2, Marcus has a Zino 2, all right? And it was like a tale of two different Zino 2s, all right? It was like, Ron's was able to take off, hover, without any problem, and get up in the air. He had the lens flare issue, like almost everybody does, but, really no issues with that. Marcus, his was, all over the place, and, it was like a completely different drone. I know Marcus has done a lot of firmware updates, and it's been better for him lately, but that's just very curious, because when you're spending that kind of money for that drone, you want some. If it's a GPS drone, you expect it to do some things. As far as when you're taking off and doing all that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely you want to check that out. You haven't had time to take it out of the box yet. Okay, Marcus. I'll be real anxious to see what you think of that. It's a good price. I think I saw it on Hubsan's site for $399. So that's a pretty good price for that drone. So you may want to go ahead and check that out. It's definitely worthy of your attention for something like that. So, last week or a couple of weeks ago, I think it was probably a couple of weeks ago, we had talked about, I had told you some things about, doing a drone YouTube channel. And I wanted to spend the last closing minutes here tonight talking about, I get a lot of emails telling people, it's very, very good, Lauren. Yes, and IMU calibration as well. About starting a YouTube channel, a drone YouTube channel. And, I went over in some detail about some things about starting one. And, would I start one now versus like 2017? I'd really have to give that some strong consideration. Back then, I saw a need, and I want to thank each and every one of you who subscribe and watch me on a weekly basis. I greatly appreciate that. I saw a need, and hopefully I'm fulfilling that to all of you. And I thank you for your patronage. I thank you for watching these videos, for your wonderful comments, for your participation in the chat, for super chats, for everything you do to help out the channel. I can't thank you guys enough. Is that something I would recommend going out and doing right now? I would have a hard time saying yes to that right now. The reason is I think there's a lot, the competition is very fierce, okay? There's a lot of people out there trying to start drone YouTube channels, and it's not an easy task. Mid-Valley Drones, Stephen, thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's not an easy thing to do. Ask Ron, ask Marcus, ask any of us, Ken Dono, Billy Kyle, Rick Smith, Kelly Shorts, any of us that have drone YouTube channels. It's not an easy proposition. I mean, there's a lot of work to it. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes that you don't see. I mean, so much. I have to prep for when I do a live show. I have to prep. I have to get everything lined up, okay? When I'm doing videos during the week, okay? There's a lot of prep work with that. The editing for these videos, it takes, to get a 10-minute, 15-minute video out there, from time I start editing it to uploading it, it's a good 2 hours sometimes. There's a lot of work involved with this. Creating thumbnails, just, the editing process. There's a lot to go with it. Plus, on top of that, a good foundation, as I stated, when you do your YouTube channel, is to have support. And the reason what I'm talking about support is, you have other social media like Twitter, you have Facebook groups and Facebook page like I do that helps support the channel. And I think it makes a big difference. It's a way to get the message out, to get your videos out, to get people, obviously the goal is for people to watch your videos. So, you know, would I start one? I would say, you would have to count the cost. It's going to be a very heavy investment of your time. If you have a message that you want to go get out there, absolutely, absolutely, you know, go for it. But understand, it's going to take some, sacrifice, time, involvement. I force myself to take days off during the week where I just really, after I'm done with work and done with dinner, I don't do anything with the channel. I'll spend time with Valerie, watch TV, but I'm not really doing anything channel related. I have to force myself. And sometimes on the weekends, I do that as well. I take a day or two and I just really don't do anything channel related because you need to decompress. I mean, we're all going through this pandemic thing together. I mean, it's just something that there's no book or no manual that I picked up that said how to run a YouTube channel during a pandemic. There's no book out there for that. So we're all flying by the seat of our pants with something like this. So this is something that's new and hopefully something we never have to encounter again. But you need a break. You need time to just decompress during the week. It's still you're still working. You're still doing your job, putting your time in, and you have other responsibilities. Household things. Valerie and I still have to run errands and get things done around the house. So, there's a lot to it is what I'm saying. So, you need to count the cost. You need to understand there's a lot involved in starting a YouTube channel. I don't want to discourage people from it, but understand, and it's also going to take an investment as well, financially speaking. Until you start to get enough subscribers where you're getting a monthly income off of Google AdSense and also through affiliate links, it's going to take a while to get that income built up. Okay, most of the drones that I have that I own, and now I own all those drones back there, I purchased myself. All right, and I'm very fortunate, and a lot of those were purchased through funds that I've gotten through the channel. Again, I've tried to be very smart and reinvest things. A lot of these things in this room, the computer I'm using right now, the microphone, everything, the desk, everything, all that came through Google AdSense money. All right. And guys, I'm not making a killing here. All right. At the end of the day, I have enough to get Valerie and I a Starbucks after all is said and done. And that's about it. So there's not a lot there. So I wanted to give you guys, a word on that, to follow up on that, because I know I had several questions on that. Just wanted to kind of clear those things up. Make sure you tune in to the Philly and Ron show after this. I have a little surprise for people there. Lauren said there's going to be a surprise. So you guys want to tune in, make sure you do tune into that. Steve Mack, thank you. We appreciate all the work you put into your channel. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Mid Valley Jones, uphill battle to find your niche, and there are a lot of how-tos. That's why I decided to show what's possible with your equipment. Yes, that's very, very good, Steve, and that's excellent. So yeah, you guys want to tune into the Philly and Ron show. That's coming up here. As I stated, in 2 weeks, it's election night, and coming on at 8 o'clock that night, I'm going to have it set. It's going to be a rebroadcast of the 10,000 subscriber episode where we had the cream of the crop on that night. We had Kelly Shores, Rick Smith, Original Dobo, Bill Thomas, Ron, and Marcus. We had a wonderful time that night. It could not have gone better. Of course, great participation from all of them. In a wonderful audience that night, and I hope you guys enjoy watching that. And also too, a couple of things in closing here tonight. We're all going through a lot right now. I mean, here we are. Who would have thought 2020 would have brought us this garbage it's brought us? Okay, I mean, it's just I'm sorry, it's just been garbage. Nobody wished a pandemic on anybody. But here we are, and by all accounts, things are getting better. They're not where they need to be, but they are getting better. So continue to follow what your things that you need to do to keep safe. I'm just going to put it to you that way. Continue to be safe. All right. We will get through this together. The other thing that I want to do now, this isn't a political statement, but make your voice heard on November the 3rd, or if you can vote early, please do so. It is a blessing to be able to vote freely. It is a blessing to be able to cast your ballot for your candidate, and you're not influenced in any way, shape, or form. Okay, it's your own free choice, and I strongly encourage everyone to do that this year. Whether you're going to a polling place in person, and they are doing social distancing, people are wearing masks there. There's hand sanitizer there. There's also drop-in ballot boxes at polling locations, at your county bureau of elections. I know that's the way it is here in Florida. So please do yourself a favor. Please make sure that your voice is heard and vote. I strongly encourage everybody to do that. Again, making no, not saying anything about candidates or anything like that, because I don't want to do that. But I think it's important. I think it's important that your voice be heard for something like that. With everything else, while we're all going through this, it won't kill you guys to be kind to one another. And I know, and I'm going to say this, all you guys that are in the chat tonight, I know most of you guys are incredible, upstanding people. You support one another, you encourage one another. I know when you comment on my videos and Ron's and Marcus's and Philly Mike, we really appreciate that. I can speak for all of us. Okay, Rick Smith, Billy Kyle, Original Devil. When you comment on our videos, it means a lot to us, and you leave us a positive comment and an uplifting comment. Okay, we're gonna get the sketchy ones every now and then. I mean, I know I've talked to Rick Smith and I've talked to Kelly Shores. They get their sketchy comments too. You would think that they wouldn't, but they do. And you know what? You ignore them and you move on, because comments that you guys leave are stellar, and we really appreciate that. I want to let each and every one of you guys know that we appreciate it. Also, I don't think it's too early to tell you we're going to have some fun coming up with Christmas. Okay, I had my 12 days of Christmas. Rick Smith does. Rick does a fantastic job with that, and we're gonna have a Christmas celebration as well. We're gonna have some giveaways. I'm gonna have some nice stuff for you guys. I promise. Maybe more Build-A-Drone Reviewer mugs. That seems to be a real popular item. People really like that mug. And I know it's gone over pretty well. I know Ray Kelly likes his shirt. I know Stephen Ewing, he has a mug. So we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna make sure that you guys we can get some more of those out to you, because those seem to wear well. Because a lot of times I would give an accessory away for a Mavic and you don't have a Mavic or this or that. This way it's kind of like one size fits all. But we'll probably do some t-shirts, probably do a polo shirt again, and some coffee mugs at Christmas time. Just have some fun. I think we all need that. I think we all need a break from that. What else can I say? Stephen, thank you. It was great seeing you as well. Yeah, that would be great, Stephen. Thank you so much. We really, and guys, give some kudos to Stephen Ewing and some props to him. He's showed up tonight. It's been a while since we've seen him, and let him know you're thinking about him, and I'm sure he would genuinely appreciate it. Stephen's one of the great guys. We absolutely love you, Stephen, and thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Barry was here tonight. Barry Markowitz. Barry, thank you for showing up. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate you a lot. Marcus was here tonight. Sam Burns was here tonight. Bill was here tonight. Steve Mack was here tonight. DeMarco was here tonight. Bill Thomas was here tonight. Philly Drone Life was here tonight. We had a lot. And Michael Wright, Sam Burns. The list goes on and on. And thank each and every one of you guys. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. Make sure you guys tune in to the Philly and Ron show coming up next. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, as always, it's a great day to fly. Take care, guys.